We're pleased to again partner with the National Hearing Conservation Association to present awards honoring those who have shown dedication to the prevention of noise-induced hearing loss through innovative practices, policies, and unique advances in the field. We now recognize this year's award winners, and each will give us a short presentation about their work. The recipient of the 2014 SafeinSound Award for Excellence in Manufacturing is Northrop Grumman Systems Corporation, Electronic Systems Sector from Linthicum, Maryland. Northrop Grumman Electronic Systems is a developer, manufacturer, integrator, and supporter of advanced electronic and maritime systems for U.S. and international customers for national security and non-defense applications. The Electronic Systems Sector headquarters employs 4,000 employees in Linthicum, Maryland. Northrop Grumman Electronic Systems is being recognized for their commitment and implementation of hearing loss prevention strategies in a highly unique and challenging work environment. Specifically, Northrop Grumman Electronic Systems has implemented a process to identify and effectively control hazardous noise sources that have reduced or eliminated individual worker daily noise exposures and the need for most of their workers to be enrolled in a hearing loss prevention program. However, this has been implemented judiciously. Employees are proactively enrolled in the hearing loss prevention program when noise sources cannot be fully controlled. The program highlights include individualized training, hearing protector fit testing, and audiometric monitoring to assure workers are adequately protected. Northrop Grumman Electronic Systems is also recognized for their vision in developing a community outreach program for employees and their families. This initiative extends their efforts to prevent noise-induced hearing loss and tinnitus beyond the workplace and addresses non-occupational noise hazards as well. So it's a great pleasure for me to invite Nancy Hall to receive the SafeinSound Excellence in Hearing Loss Prevention Award for Manufacturing. And I want to also recognize that Kevin O'Connor is here with Nancy on behalf of the company. We'll now hear from Nancy in her presentation.
Our team would like to thank the National Hearing Conservation Association for bestowing the SafeinSound Excellence Award on Northrop Grumman Systems Corporation. It recognizes the efforts that Northrop Grumman has put forth in protecting employees from the detrimental effects of high noise exposure. Northrop Grumman Systems Corporation is a producer of advanced electronic and maritime systems for both U.S. and international customers. Our products range from radar and targeting systems to tactical ground stations and navigation systems. Our company is divided into 4 major divisions with over 15,000 employees worldwide and headquartered in Baltimore, Maryland. The team that contributed to this Excellence Award included members from our Environmental Health and Safety Organization, as well as staff from our in-house medical clinic. Their expertise ranges from certified industrial hygienists, certified occupational hearing conservationists, to department directors. This picture shows the group just mentioned with our program mascot, Roxy. This team promoted and ensured the success of our hearing conservation program. Several years ago, we decided to take a closer look at our overall noise control program. At that time, we wanted to see if there were any areas of the program that could be improved to reduce the number of participants or improve the level of protection for those employees who had to continue to participate in the program. To this end, we identified a number of areas for improvement and developed a number of initiatives to address these areas. These initiatives are featured here, and I will go into more detail as the presentation progresses. As mentioned in the previous slide, we started taking a look at how we could identify operations that might require engineering controls. One way we chose to identify high noise sources was to use the form that requires our customers to provide information on new equipment to the Environmental Health and Safety Organization. On this form, we specifically ask about noise as it relates to equipment operation. If high noise is expected, the equipment is then further evaluated using technical data. If this technical data doesn't provide the necessary information, the equipment is assessed upon installation and the proper control measures are implemented. This may involve the use of noise abatement systems and/or the enrollment of employees into the hearing conservation program. The following slides will illustrate some of the common pieces of equipment that are used in our industry that generate significant sound pressure levels when operating. The first piece of equipment that is illustrated is a thermotron. This is a piece of equipment used to simulate hot or cold environments. In some cases, these thermotrons can be equipped with shaker tables, which are used to simulate vibration during operation. In many situations where these units have produced high noise levels, our approach to controlling this noise has been to install noise attenuation curtains. You can see on the slide that in some cases, this method of control can achieve as much as 10 decibels of attenuation. In some cases, vibration tests do not require hot or cold environments, and shakers are used as standalone units. In this situation, the shaker can be isolated in an enclosure that separates the equipment from the operator. These enclosures can achieve as much as 40 decibels of attenuation. Another means of control that we have found to be effective with thermotrons and shakers is the construction of a quiet room. These rooms are isolated from the equipment by walls with high sound transmission coefficients to attenuate sound pressure levels at the operator workstations. In this case, we were able to avoid the need for placing as many as 30 employees into our hearing conservation program by incorporating the quiet room into the facility design. As a result of implementing many of these various control systems, we have been able to abate noise problems for approximately 70% of the identified high noise sources, and at the same time reduce the number of employees requiring protection by our hearing conservation program. Another area we chose to improve was the criteria we used when performing dosimetry to identify employees who should participate in our hearing conservation program. We elected to use the more restrictive criteria recommended by the American Conference of Governmental Industrial Hygienists and supported by the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. This criteria uses a slow response setting with a 3 decibel exchange rate, 85 decibel criterion level, and 80 decibel threshold. We have found using this more restrictive criteria has identified a larger population of employees that require protection than would have been identified using the traditional OSHA limits. This next slide just illustrates how we use our sound pressure level readings for creating a sound map of surveyed areas. This mapping allows us to visually assess the noise levels in an area to decide if personal dosimetry is warranted and how engineering controls might be incorporated into the space. In addition, this mapping sometimes allows us to control exposures by identifying hearing protection zones around specific equipment. Another area we wanted to try and improve was the way we educated our workforce, track the training aspect of our program, and sustain the changes moving forward. We continue to promote the attendance of supervisory personnel at a regulatory overview course held once a year, which we refer to as our university course. On the tracking side of the house, we now utilize an electronic learning management system that sends out reminders to all employees and their supervisors when refresher training comes due. From a sustainability standpoint, we have incorporated questions into our internal housekeeping checklist. These questions assist our internal auditors when verifying that high noise issues have been identified and employees participating in our program have the proper equipment and authorization. Yet another initiative that we chose to pursue involved the systematic assessment of existing program elements, specifically audiometric testing, training, and how to ensure proper use and fit to our end users. The audiometric testing element of our program was at one time performed by an outside vendor using a mobile testing facility. A decision was made around the time of this assessment to assign responsibility for this testing to our in-house clinic. A special acoustical room equipped with a bioacoustic simulator and sound level meter was constructed to meet OSHA requirements for audiometric test rooms. All testing is done by a technician certified by the Council of Accreditation in Occupational Hearing Conservation. During the time period of 2011 to 2013, 239 audiometric tests have been performed, with no standard threshold shifts having been noted. As far as ensuring that our program participants understand how to use and fit their protective devices, our company actively pursued the evaluation and eventual acquisition of a fit test apparatus. This device allows for our end users to see that the appropriate type of earplug, when inserted properly, can have a significant impact on their personal attenuation rating. Use of this fit test apparatus has allowed us to reduce the types of earplugs that we use in our program by over 50%. It has also produced a 15% average improvement in their personal attenuation rating when the proper plugs are selected, and has shown an 11% improvement in personal attenuation rating from one year to another. And let me say, this last result is very important because it shows us that our education on exposures at work and at home, I believe, is keeping our employees more engaged. In addition, the use of the fit test equipment allows us to reinforce the training element of the program. It allows the program administrator to have critical face-to-face time with the end user, where hands-on demonstrations and verification can be accomplished. The final initiative we pursued over the last several years has involved a community outreach element to the program. To achieve this element, our company purchased a mannequin, and through the guidance of the Dangerous Decibel's Jolene cookbook, made our own version of Jolene. Our mannequin, commonly known as Roxy, has been equipped with a microphone connected to a sound level meter to demonstrate noise being generated by a wide variety of personal audio equipment. Roxy has been used at various safety and health fairs, safety presentations on noise, and Bring Your Child to Work days. She changed a little. As an example, during our last Bring Your Child to Work day, we had approximately 600 youths between the ages of 8 and 15 participate in the day's activities. And of those, approximately 100 youths socialized with Roxy. So what lessons have we learned from our initiatives? Engineering controls, when used properly, reduce noise exposures. Face-to-face interaction using fit test equipment increases worker understanding and enthusiasm with the program. Use of Roxy has had an impact on how people view noise and volume of their own personal audio devices. And education, of course, is extremely important as it helps keep our employees engaged. And you know that's a big buzzword these days. So moving down the road, our company plans on performing additional personal dosimetry to better characterize exposure levels, investigate high noise warning systems, trend audiometric testing data, continue promoting employee and family use of protective devices, assess technology for fit testing earmuffs, and standardize our program across our manufacturing sector. Finally, in closing, I'd like to say this award will assist us in two specific areas of noise control. First, it will allow us to promote the proactive use of engineering controls to reduce employee exposure, and two, it will encourage the use of the more restrictive noise assessment criteria for identifying affected employees. Don't gamble with your hearing, but thank you very much for your time and attention.